We're back.
We're back. Welcome to Card Subject to Change, where we talk all things pro wrestling, the why, the what, and the where. Where would be right here at the WeBeam TV studios in Newport Richey, Florida. How's it going, Ray? How you doing?
Been good. Did you see Raw last night?
I did see Raw last night.
It wasn't last night, but...
Yeah, is this your segue into the news?
This is my segue into the news. Can we do the bumper?
Let's go into the news. Perfect. What a beautiful bumper. All right, first topic. Brock Lesnar's opponent for SummerSlam has been announced last night on SmackDown. Randy Orton coming back from injury, who will be taking on Brock Lesnar in a match I don't think we've seen in quite a while.
No, we haven't. You had an image of that.
I think we do have an image of that. James, can you throw that on the screen? That is, I believe, the last time.
Look at that face.
Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton went one-on-one, and that had to be at least 12 years ago.
My God, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, so, I mean, what do you think of this matchup? It's kind of weird to have a major star like Brock Lesnar, especially coming off of UFC 200, going against somebody who's been injured for over a year.
Yeah, it is strange, especially even when he actually got injured. He wasn't really at that main event level. Like, they didn't really use him as a main event superstar.
Because I think the last time they had him was WrestleMania last year, where he wrestled Seth Rollins mid-card.
Yeah.
So it's... But what were their other options going in? Bring in Brock Lesnar off his big UFC return. Who else could they put him up against? Besides one of the three guys in the main event of this next pay-per-view.
That's true.
Which all would have been viable options, but all those guys are in the main event scene.
But they got to do that whole Shield feud thing.
Yeah.
So.
But I guess if they put him against anybody in that, they go straight into the title scene, which is probably something they're trying to keep him away from.
Yeah.
So that kind of makes some sense.
Let it run on its own steam, you know?
But I think it should be a good matchup nonetheless. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Randy Orton, but he is a fantastic guy, I know.
He does this thing.
He does that thing, and the thing, and the other thing. He does the other thing. He has all the tattoos.
I don't know what else Randy Orton does, to be completely honest.
That's all I got.
That's all I got, too.
But it should be a great match nonetheless.
Segue
into Monday Night Raw you brought up a little bit earlier.
Yes.
What did you think of Monday Night Raw? Now that I'm making you watch Raw every single week.
I know. I've been taking notes about every single episode.
Look at this, folks. He's taking notes.
Look at this.
That's amazing. I'm so proud of you. You're growing up, and I love it.
You know, I'm trying.
Okay,
anyway,
so what did you think of Monday Night Raw?
Well, I thought the food fight was great.
Yeah.
No, I really did. That was awful.
I liked
ridiculous.
It. I like Kevin Owens hiding under the table eating a bag of potato chips.
The Kevin Owens saves almost anything for me, just because he's a complete jerk. But it just, I mean, come on now. The whole Heath Slater double choke. Was that exact same thing done? Like
they do that. Basically, they do that every year on SmackDown previously, because SmackDown would air on a Thursday.
Yeah.
Obviously, Thanksgiving Day, so they do it for Thanksgiving. But going forward, they're not going to have that opportunity because now it's on Tuesdays, starting in about 3 weeks.
Darn.
So 4th of July it is.
So Heath Slater's not going to be going through a table again anytime soon.
Until next 4th of July.
Yeah, probably. Probably in like next week, actually.
So that was good, and then we went right into the U.S. title match.
Yes.
We got Rusev versus Titus O'Neil again, but Titus O'Neil donning the apparel of either Apollo Creed or Vincent or Virgil. I'm not sure which one it was supposed to be.
The worst pajama pants I've ever seen. They were it's the ugliest set of gear I've ever seen in WWE. I have to give them that. And no offense to the flag or anything, but geez.
But you know what's bad when he's coming down the aisle. Nobody really knows what's going on, so JBL has to obviously point out, oh, he's dressed as Uncle Sam. That's what it is. He was Uncle Sam? That's what he's supposed to see. There you go. I think he was supposed to be Uncle Sam. I thought he was
Apollo Creed. That's kind of...
I don't know who... Perfect. All right. Then we went on. Obviously, Rusev retained. I think Titus O'Neil went over via DQ because he wouldn't release the hold.
Yeah.
But obviously a very feel-good moment for America when the Russian wins.
Yes, wonderful.
4th of July.
But then it goes into the highlight of the night, the Social Outcasts versus Enzo and Cass. Now that was amazing. No, it was all right.
Was that the next? Okay, Social Outcasts versus Enzo and Cass. And but this also turned into. Did they go right into this, into the John Cena and the Club? Because later in the night, Enzo and Cass came out and saved John Cena, setting up a big 6-man tag for the next pay-per-view Battleground in 2 weeks.
That was actually, I think that was like right after the whole Rollins-Ambrose thing, which we'll get to later.
Okay, so before that, we had Ambrose and Miz go one-on-one in a champion versus champion match. And obviously Ambrose went over, And then that set up Rollins coming right out to set up
Yeah.
him versus Ziggler.
Yeah.
And then at the end of that, they did the
Well,
dueling
well,
promo
Ziggler-
standing on the commentary tables.
Yeah, which is incredible. Well, that's after Ambrose did his whole getting behind the Spanish announce table and pretending he knew Spanish.
That was my favorite moment
now,
of the night.
Now just close your eyes and try to think of every single word you remember from Spanish class in high school. He says all of them except for zapatos, which that means shoes, right? Yeah.
I believe so. So his high school Spanish education came in handy for the first time in probably a very long time. I thought that was really entertaining.
I thought that was like kind of the prerequisite to become a WWE superstar.
You have to know at least that much Spanish?
At least 2 years of a college foreign language class.
Perfect.
Am I wrong?
You might be wrong.
I'm probably wrong.
Okay, and then they went into the dueling promos where they both stood at the announce tables and yelled back and forth at each other.
And the whole point of this dueling tabletop promo off, or whatever you want to call it, was to make sure that the audience still remembered, hey, Roman Reigns is in that three-way coming up.
I mean, they're doing the best they can to keep a guy in the main event of a pay-per-view who can't appear on TV.
He shouldn't even be in it.
He shouldn't be in it.
No.
I completely agree.
But by the way, he made a shame of that title. And what else did they say? He's like,
oh, there's a lot of that.
It was awful. It was completely awful. Well, I mean,
I thought we were going to say positive. Come on, man.
It was completely. It sucked. I can't describe it any other way. It was pretty bad.
And then,
I mean, it's just funny to see them try to do that. Try
to shoehorn him in
Yeah,
when he can't be there. They might as well just superimpose his head right next to everybody else.
Those were two good. Rollins versus Ziggler was a good match, and then Rollins Ambrose was another good match. And then you're like, hey man, these two guys are really good. I can't wait to watch them go against each other.
And then add another guy who's probably eventually going to go over anyways.
Yeah, and then they're just like, oh, by the way, Roman Reigns is in that, remember? And you're just like, God damn it, why? Why?
After that, we also had more development in Sasha Banks taking on Charlotte Flair for the women's title.
Yeah.
Dana Brooke got forearmed in the face again because that seems to be the only thing that Sasha Banks can do.
It's a forearm magnet.
To Dana Brooke. I'm excited for the match. I'm wondering if there's going to be a title change. Who knows? But a lot of people think this is way overdue.
Yeah.
So, and you agree by your yep.
I agree, yep.
And then into the highlight of the evening, the main event, the International 16-man tag match.
Oh, the image.
Look at this. This is just a beautiful tag match.
I'm rooting for Goku.
I'm a big fan of the Iron Sheik as the referee, but
I don't trust that
I feel
guy.
like this image was doctored. I feel like this isn't the way it
Really?
happened. I'm pretty sure Kurt Angle wasn't there on Kane's body. I can make a wild guess, but I'm pretty sure that didn't happen. But Zack Ryder in the Big Show getting the win as Team USA over Team International. But Zack Ryder getting a win on Raw.
And then,
holy crap.
Yeah, that is strange, right? And then that kind of brought him into the whole SmackDown challenging for the U.S. title with Rusev.
His push has been completely a roller coaster. To come out of nowhere, be a last-minute entrant into the Money in the Bank, or not the Money in the Bank, the Intercontinental title ladder match at WrestleMania, go over out of nowhere, and then lose the belt the next night, then just not be on TV for weeks.
He's kind of like he's on a reserve push status. So
there's like a quota of times he has to go over?
That's a special contract. It's kind of like the Legends contract, where you don't always get pushed, but if they don't have anybody else, hey, use them.
Perfect. And into my favorite topic that we're going to talk about. It's something we kind of talked about last week, hyping up. TNA this week aired a backyard wrestling match.
Oh, good Lord.
Between the Hardy Boys. The Final Deletion was the name of the match. There is a image taken from it.
That is a hologram.
That is a drone that flew into Jeff Hardy's house, projected Matt Hardy's face, where he challenged him.
Conveniently on the blue wall.
On the blue wall to a backyard wrestling match to end it once and for all.
Well, that's what I would consider a property line match.
Property line match. It took place on Matt Hardy's property. His groundskeeper took care of setting everything up for him, which we got a nice couple of minutes of that. But 17 minutes was the director's cut of this match, which I've never seen a wrestling match with a director's cut before, but
it's the only one
hey,
worth
there's
watching.
a first time for anything.
It's the only one worth watching.
So,
it's amazing.
Tell me some of your favorite moments from this wonderful mystery ball of a wrestling match that we got to partake in.
Well, first of all, only half of it's an actual wrestling match. The first half is actually Matt Hardy kind of sending his drones after Jeff. And Jeff.
First, they're having a Spanish birthday party for his son.
That's right.
And his wife.
Maxwell.
I
don't know if that's actually Matt Hardy's son.
I believe so.
Is it really?
I believe his name is Maxwell Hardy.
He even dyes a little gray streak into his hair, which I'm sure is not safe for an infant. I'm not particularly sure about that. But Yeah, but after that, because the drones are my favorite part, because Jeff Hardy fights off drones with an acoustic guitar like he's He-Man, and it's the great's thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
So
except one drone gets away,
Ooh.
but Jeff, he has to chase that drone down. But it turns out it's all a distraction. Matt Hardy had it up on him the entire time. He had a one-up.
He's a smart brother. That's what it is.
So he ruins his lawn.
That's messed up, man. So they get into it. They have a match highlighted by swanton bombs out of a tree onto a ladder.
It just looks like a drunk dude falling out of a tree.
And I'm pretty sure they were.
Yeah, a little bit. A lot of jump cuts, so like you don't know what's going on. A lot of Irish whips in the corners.
A lot of Roman candles being fired at each other.
That's the
Seemed
weapons,
very unsafe.
Weapons included a lattice, little wicker things in
that
front
you put
of
in your lawn.
Yep. Ladders, kendo sticks, which magically appear for some reason.
He never retrieved them from under the ring. They just appeared in his hands.
And then there's the Roman candles.
That's the Roman candles, which is the highlight. And then it ended with a swanton, or he went for the swanton, got pushed off of a giant monument of their logo.
It was a junk sculpture.
It was a junk sculpture.
It was a Jeff Hardy junk sculpture.
Got pushed off of it, pinned 1, 2, 3. Matt Hardy finally deleted Jeff Hardy from his backyard, I guess.
I'm still gonna stick with property line.
Property
it sounds
line.
more professional.
Perfect. So that was the news. That's what happened this week, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go to break now.
Wouldn't be possible.
We'll be right back.
A dilapidated boat, though. So
we'll be right back with more Cards Subject to Change.
Ever need a doctor after hours? Well, searching won't help. But what do? You could go to the urgent care or ER, but if only there was a better way. Introducing the MNO Plus Card. No waiting rooms, no copay, no consultation fee, giving you 24/7 access to a doctor by phone or online. It's easy to get started with affordable plans starting at $15 a month for a family of 5. For more information, visit mnoplus.com today.
Everyone's story is different, so why be limited to just 1 or 2 options? With Norcom's Norflex Home Loan, you're given the flexibility to tell your story. Pick your terms from 8 to 30 years, all while maintaining a low, fixed mortgage rate. You can pay off your loan more quickly or choose a term based on your budget and timeline. Whatever you do with the Norflex Home Loan, make it part of your financial plan. Norflex. Short-term, long-term, your terms. Apply online at norcommortgage.com.
Enjoy tranquil seclusion in an eco-lover's paradise. Paddling through the mangroves where the only sounds you'll hear are the sounds of nature. Because you deserve to relax on vacation, visit Pasco County, Florida.
Are you wondering what to watch this summer? Yeah, I know I am.
Me
so
too.
We have a special segment done by a very special host, a friend of ours.
Ah, what kind of segment is this?
Jimmy's Flicks.
Ah, let's go to Jimmy's Flicks.
Gentlemen, today I'm going to introduce y'all to an American classic, Mr. Nanny. This story is all about Sean Armstrong, an ex-wrestler played by the Huckster, and his pal, Burt Wilson, Sherman Henley, who's also his former manager, who now runs a bodyguard service. Moving on up from the east side to great things, brother. After some whining and dining, Burt manages to persuade Sean to take a bodyguard job for Alex Mason Sr., the head of a big-time technological firm, Mason Systems, which is developing a new anti-missile system called the Peacefinder Project. This brings us to what the film is all about, Daddy. The microchip. It holds all the secrets, baby. After seeing what the Huckster can do in action, he's impressed and knows he's got the right man for the job.
Gorillas, huh?
Hey, you!
This is the bodyguard.
Terrible mistake, sir. I'll get rid of him immediately.
Wrong. He's incredible. Obviously a real pro.
Could not have said it better myself. But it's neither the inventor nor the chip he has to watch. He has to look after Mason's two bratty little disrespectful brats.
Are you out of your mind? I hate kids.
These mischievous little tacks run Armstrong ragged, pranking him left and right. You're just lucky he decided to sell that. After a time, the Hucksters had way too much.
Oh, no, you don't. Oh, you little bastard.
1 volt less, and I'd have miscalculated his inertial torque. But genius prevailed.
Huckster finally forces his hand and hands out some of that Hollywood discipline. Huckster knows best, baby.
You don't have to go ballistic.
Yes, I do. No more games, no more tricks. You're gonna sit here till I tell you to get up. Sit down. Sit down.
But this is only the beginning. The heel, Tommy Thanos, is after that mother-loving chick, the fruit of Mason's labor. You see, Thanatos and Armstrong have a little bit of a history. A few years back, Thanatos asked Armstrong to throw a match. But Armstrong don't go under, baby. He won that match, like he always does.
Now we can pay the hotel and get your clothes back.
This ticked Thanatos off.
I ordered you to throw that match.
So like any other respectful manager of that day and era, he busted a cap in that ass.
You're dead. Look out!
But Burt took the bullet for Armstrong. Just like I would. Props, Mr. Jefferson. Now you know why he walks like he has the poop struts. Ain't no way Armstrong's gonna allow for any of this. He ain't digging that angle. He chases down Thanatos, and after a bit of a skirmish, Thanatos takes a huge bump off the side of a building like a jobber on a good payday. This causes him to lose half his dome, having it replaced with a metal bowl or something. Shame. Shame to see that afro cut down.
First to defy me, then you mock my hair?
The head of security, Frank Olson, then decides to make his big heel turn and tricks Alex Sr. into getting kidnapped.
You fool! He'll get rid of you the moment you have outlived your usefulness! Ha! Ha!
Later, a group of racial stereotypes guys have the gall to kidnap both the kids and his manager. No, no, no. You don't go and kidnap the Huck Machine's manager. Time to take it home, baby. Armstrong manages to track those bozos all the way to the dock. Sean goes back and forth with Thanatos and his goons for a little bit. Eventually, the Ivan Koloff ripoff thinks he's got one over on the huckster. Then the Brat steps in and gets punted across the room. This just jumpstarts the huckster's comeback.
You should have done that. Why not? Because you're shooting at a kid.
Swine! Du verrücktes Zwerg! Hang out, Wolfie, baby.
But in the end, Armstrong, with the help of that stupid little tech-savvy Brett, managed to activate a laser magnet that rips the dude's scalp off. Finally, after all is said and done, Armstrong decides he's had enough of these marks. So he decides to make a break for it. But once again, after all the help Huck's given them, these little brats pull another prank on it! Overall, this movie has everything. Action, excitement, the huckster. It's one hell of a flick, and I can't urge you enough to go out and watch it. A good friend of mine should be expecting a Grammy any day now.
Jimmy, Grammys for music.
Wait, what? Yeah, that too! Check out these beats!
I'm blowing up like I thought I would. Call the crib, same number, same hood, it's all good. If you don't know,
Sing, Dad.
now you know.
You had to go, but not that many. 'Cause you're the only one. I'll give you good and plenty.
Anyway, before I was so rudely interrupted, I'll give this flick.
The anticipation is almost too much to bear.
A 24-inch python out of 10. That's right, the highest possible rating I could give a movie. I can't urge you guys enough to go rush out to your theaters on October 8th, 1993 and get a lead full.
Jimmy, it's 2016. The movie came out like 23 years ago.
Are you serious?
Yep, completely serious.
Are you kidding me?
Nope, not kidding.
Why the hell would you have me review a movie that's over 20 years old? Who the hell wants to watch a review of an old-ass movie? Ah!
This world will beat you down, beat you with a stick. You want an ice cream pop, they give you a boot to lick. I need some time to sort out all this mess. I gotta be up and ready.
What?
All right. We'd like to thank our special guest for hosting Jimmy's Flicks. It's very nice of him to drop in and help us out with our episode today.
He's a very busy guy.
He's a very busy guy. He has a lot going on, but it's very nice of him to do a movie review, and hopefully we see a lot of those in the future. We are back now with our guest this week, one half of the internationally traveled tag team, the Heartbreak Express.
I can't see nothing with these glasses on. All right, there
Please
we go.
welcome
All right.
superstar Sean Davis. Welcome, Sean.
Oh, man, it is such a pleasure to be here today.
Oh, it's awesome to have you.
It's a pleasure to be invited to be here. I mean, honestly, these days it's a pleasure to be invited anywhere, so don't get too excited.
Well, let's see.
All right.
We've known each other for how long? I think I met you when I was about 15 years old.
Long time, brother. Yes.
Oh, awesome. Well,
yeah.
you were actually my first wrestling match
Oh my God, yeah.
We wrestled at, what was the name of the place in Clearwater?
The Royalty Theater.
The Royalty Theater.
Yes, it's now the Capitol Theater.
No food and beverages allowed in the theater.
Yes, no,
Buy all the snacks you want. You just can't eat them during the show.
That was a horrible match. I mean,
well, at that point, I think we're going to go ahead and go to break early. We'll be right back with our guest, Sean Davis. And thank you for watching Card Subject to Change.
Ever need a doctor after hours? Well, searching won't help. But what do? You could go to the urgent care or ER, but if only there was a better way. Introducing the MNO Plus Card. No waiting rooms, no copay, no consultation fee, giving you 24/7 access to a doctor by phone or online. It's easy to get started with affordable plans starting at $15 a month for a family of 5. For more information, visit mnoplus.com today.
Everyone's story is different, so why be limited to just 1 or 2 options? With Norcom's Norflex Home Loan, you're given the flexibility to tell your story. Pick your terms from 8 to 30 years, all while maintaining a low, fixed mortgage rate. You can pay off your loan more quickly or choose a term based on your budget and timeline. Whatever you do with the Norflex Home Loan, make it part of your financial plan. Norflex. Short-term, long-term, your terms. Apply online at norcommortgage.com.
Enjoy tranquil seclusion in an eco-lover's paradise. Paddling through the mangroves where the only sounds you'll hear are the sounds of nature. Because you deserve to relax on vacation, visit Pasco County, Florida.
Welcome back. Welcome back. All right. Ray and I are here with superstar Sean Davis, our special guest interview of the week. All right, Sean. So obviously, like I said, we've known each other for a very long time.
Long time. Yeah.
So, okay, let me ask you the generic interview question. What's your first memory of professional wrestling?
Oh, wow. That's a good question. You know, I remember it clearly. I was actually, man, I must have been 7 years old, and I was at my cousin's house, and they were watching World Class Championship Wrestling.
Yes.
And I remember the fabulous Freebirds coming down to the ring, you know, with their robes and the music pumping. And they were taking on the Von Erichs.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it was just like, that is my absolute first memory, man. And that's what got me hooked. And I remember I was kind of like, at the time, I was a little younger than my older cousin. And I was kind of like teasing him about, you know, wrestling. And then I kept, you know, sneaking back to watch. And that was it. I was hooked.
So some things never changed. Wrestling's always been a little frowned upon. Like, oh, you watch that stuff.
And he still likes robes, too.
Yeah, I do.
Well, we see, like, it makes a lot of sense now. Like, seeing how you guys wrestled as a tag team and your style and everything else. So that's the first input. So when did you go to your first show? Your first live event?
All right, my first live event was... Okay, it was 1986. I know that It was I don't remember the actual, I think it was April. It was sometime in April, the Foxborough Stadium where the New England Patriots play. It was the second annual King of the Ring tournament. And this was,
That's awesome.
This was before the pay-per-views, so it wasn't on pay-per-view. It was just a local thing at the time.
Yeah, just a stadium show.
Yeah, it was a stadium show. The main event was the British Bulldogs against the Dream Team, Greg Valentine and Brutus Beefcake in a steel cage.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
And then that's where Harley Race won the tournament. He beat Pedro Morales in the finals.
King Harley.
And then the next week he was crowned king on television.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, but that's how it all started, was just as a local event, you know, and then eventually turned into a pay-per-view. But they did I think they had 7 or 8 years in a row where it was just a New England thing, was the King of the Ring tournament.
Before they really got into the closed circuit television.
And I actually went to every single one of them except the very first.
Was it always in that area?
It was always in, the first 2 were held at Foxborough Stadium, the others were held at the Providence Civic Center.
Oh, wow. So for people who lived in that area, that was like an annual thing they could always go to.
Big annual event because, you know, New England was you know, one of the traditional hotbeds for the Northeast wrestling, you know, the WWF back in the day, and then the WWF. So it was something kind of to give back to the fans, I guess. It really was something special. The first year, 1985, also at Foxborough Stadium, was Don Morocco beat the Iron Sheik in the finals.
Oh,
but I wasn't at that one. I was a little young.
But you just missed it.
I just missed it, yeah.
And you didn't go to the one in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. All right. So that was your first. At that point, did you say, you know what? I want to be a professional wrestler or grow up.
I honestly, as young as I possibly can remember, that's what I wanted to be. Yeah, I wish somebody would go back and slap the taste out of my mouth, to be honest with you. But yeah.
So
go to college, get a degree.
Oh, that's phooey.
Did you go into that like all or nothing? Like, I'm going to be a pro wrestler, nothing else.
Yes, that was that was 100% my goal. You know, I tried breaking in New England. Yeah. And it was really tough. I mean, you would think the Northeast would have been less kayfabe than the South was, but the Northeast was hard to try to break into.
Really?
Yeah, I went to 2 or 3 different wrestling schools, got totally, you know, basically thrown out on my butt.
Oh, jeez.
I had one local guy that used to do jobs on TV. I'm not going to mention his name, Richie Rich. He used to get killed on TV. Tried charging me $5,000 to train in his backyard.
Oh my God.
This was when I was like 16, 17, you know.
Wow. So you're doing everything you can to like be a pro wrestler.
I was doing everything I could. I was going to the shows, I went to all the local shows. I remember my lowest moment as a fan wanting to break into wrestling was, and I'm not going to try to like, you know, use stereotypes or anything. Yeah. There was a guy that you would say was less than playing with a full deck. Okay?
Okay.
That was, I guess, the son of the promoter. But he was definitely, you know, a few bricks short of, you know, building a house, you know what I mean? And he debuted on one of the shows doing a white Kamala gimmick.
Oh, man, that sounds amazing.
And he was like 120 pounds, okay? And I remember
Did he have the stuff painted on his chest?
He did. He was all painted
Loincloth?
up. Yeah, a full deal. I mean, the gimmick was good, but the guy couldn't wrestle. But I remember I'm sitting in the crowd with my buddy, and we're just going, oh, my God, this guy is now a professional wrestler, and we can't get anybody to even talk to us? What the hell is going on, you know?
That's got to be like a soul crusher right then and there.
I was so depressed,
Which is so funny, because nowadays, if I saw that, I'm like, this is incredible.
Right?
But incredible for the wrong reason.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this guy was on a card where the main event was Superfly Jimmy Snuka against the Magnificent Morocco. There was a Public Enemy were in town. Like, there were big names on this show, and like we couldn't get the promoter to
even talk to
us.
You don't remember his name? It wasn't like Vanilla Kamala or something?
Oh, no.
Blanco Kamalo.
I remember the promoters was Big City Mike Marcello. I'll never forget this guy. And he dropped dead a few years after that. Good riddance. But I mean, I'm just kidding. But,
well, that's what he gets for not booking you.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, looking back on it, I understand, you know, the business was a lot more closed at the time. But
a lot of kids came to the shows.
Yeah, it was, and you know, what I really truly think the reason why they didn't want to break us into the business was me and my buddy Tim, Vic Slohan. You remember Vic Slohan?
Oh my God,
That's one of the shows Inside story. But anyways, we were like the only regular paying fans at these shows.
So they brought you in.
Yeah, so I mean, they're not going to break you in with. I mean, these guys they're paying the locker room. You know, they're breaking our $10 each up across the whole locker room. You know.
So it was financially like a bad decision
we
to let you guys
break those guys in. They'll stop buying tickets. You know, which honestly, more promoters these days should take that into consideration. But,
Absolutely. So if you got really thirsty and you bought a soda, does that mean the boys got a bonus?
Probably. I guess that's why we were so popular there. Yeah.
Yeah. Get another Sprite. That's right. Oh man. All right. So you did that in New York. You did that in the Northeast. You kind of worked around, and then you eventually moved to Florida.
Came to Florida and how
for wrestling or for personal reasons?
Well, no, actually, that's a whole nother story. But we moved to Florida with my family. And I actually had a side business at the time where I was selling bootleg wrestling videos. I'm serious, through the Wrestling Observer and the Torch and stuff.
So you did like the whole mail me a thing?
I had a buddy that was in Japan, okay? And he would tape all the Japanese wrestling for me, send it over to me. I would dub copies. I had this little business going on. So I set up at the flea market in Newport Richie, the USA Flea Market. USA Flea Market.
And what year was this?
1996.
1996, all right.
And I was selling merchandise there, not just wrestling stuff, but toys and stuff. But I was selling videos. And Brett Sawyer, the brother of Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer, was a pretty big star in the 70s and 80s. He was on like TBS Wrestling when it very first started. He had come by the flea market.
He's just out at the flea market?
Out at the flea market. And I was selling merchandise, and he asked me if there was any way I could find a video, because I had all these rare tapes, and he was asking me if I could find a video of this angle they did in 1983 on TBS where him and his brother reconciled, because his brother was a big heel, he was the big baby face, and their mother came on television, their real mother, to do this angle. And he did never seen it. He didn't have any tape of it, and he was like, he said to me, because of course the first thing I'm telling him is, I'm dying to break into wrestling. I want to be a wrestling star. What do I got to do? And of course he's like, well, kid, you know, I could break you in and everything, but it's a lot of money. And he's like, I'll tell you what. You find that video of me, my mom, and my brother on TBS, and I'll give you a free tryout at my wrestling gym.
That sounds like a hell of a deal.
It normally costs $500, and I'll go ahead and waive the fee if you find me the video. And I guarantee he left going, I'll never hear from this kid again.
So he gave you a project.
He gave me a project. I went home, went through my collection. Sure enough, I found the video of him.
You found it that day?
That day. I found
God.
That day, I found the video of him, his mother, and brother. Dubbed him a copy, got to the wrestling school the next day, brought him the video.
You showed up the next day, you're like,
the very next day. I'm like, Brett,
open the door.
I'm ready to wrestle, baby.
You show up with your sneakers, your basketball shorts, and the video, and you're ready to go.
He was like, are you kidding me? You know, it's like,
he's like, man, I could have got $500.
Yeah. And that was it, man. That was the beginning. I started, it was...
How impressive was this wrestling facility?
It was a dump. It was just somewhat of a ring. I mean, the ring was okay, but I mean, it was very, very hard, very stiff.
Was it like a home-built ring, or?
No, it was a professional ring. I mean,
back then, it was like a deck with padding over it.
They were very, very stiff, no give at all. And it was in this just steel building.
In Florida.
Yeah, in Florida, with a solar panel over the ring to make sure that when you were training, it would be as hot as possible in the ring.
It's very nice of them.
Yeah, so I started training. And it was like 110, 120 degrees in the gym when we started. And I mean, the first day, I passed out probably at least twice in the ring.
Oh my God.
And I remember I went home and we were staying in a place that had a little jacuzzi. I just cause I had in the jacuzzi for like 3 hours and my body was killing me so much. And I'm saying, I don't know if I've got what it takes to do this, because it was hard, man. It was so much harder than I thought it was going to be. Just from bouncing and hitting the ropes. I had bruises on my side from doing back bumps. My whole body was killing me. Of course, the first few times you take a back bump, you don't know to tuck your head, so you slam the back of your head into that ring that was like this, basically.
Yeah. Oh my
and
God.
you know, you just knock yourself silly. And I literally was like, I don't know if I've got what it takes to do this, man.
So you worked so long. I want to get to this point. I want to get into a wrestling stroll, and then, holy crap, I keep knocking myself out. It's 120 degrees in here.
Yeah, it was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. And you know what they did with the veteran guys that were at the school? There were a lot of veteran guys there. Guys that you might even still know, like Mike Sullivan was there at the time. Wow. Who else? Just a bunch of guys. Like Scoot Andrews would come around, Navy SEAL. Cuban Assassin was there all the time working with the guys. Greg the Hammer Valentine. I mean, I was in awe. Because, I mean, some of these guys have been guys I've been idolizing my whole life. Yeah. And, you know, here I am, you know, with Greg the Hammer Valentine, which I have a funny Greg Valentine story, too. Oh, yes. Oh, you know what? I don't know if I need to tell that one. You might watch this. I've got a couple Greg Valentine stories. But,
oh, my God. So, was there anybody else that we might know from the class, from either the local circuit or?
Oh man, you know, I'm trying to think who would still be around. I think I'm pretty much the last one that's still involved in any way. I mean, there's the legendary Lionheart, but he's been retired for.
I heard he's been retired for a little while now.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, there were a lot of people though that came through, and like I said, I was just in awe training with all these guys. But it was so tough at the beginning. And the veteran guys, they just made it as difficult as possible for you. Oh my God. There were couches on the outside of the ring. And all the vet guys would sit on the couches and laugh and heckle you as you were trying to learn your bumps and your moves. So, I mean, you're talking about pressure. I mean, you already are feeling all this pressure and stress of, can I handle, you know, the physicality of what we're trying to do? And then you've got these guys on the outside literally going, go home, you suck, you're never going to do this, you know? And
you're like, I got this crap in high school, I don't need it here.
Yeah, it was brutal. And then they'd get in the ring with you and just, you know, kick your rear end, you know what I mean? You know, they would put you in the corner, and there'd be like 6 or 7 guys would come over and take turns chopping you as many times as they could. And then it would be backdrops. Okay, we're gonna give you literally 20 backdrops in a row. To go hit the ropes, backdrop, back in line, hit the ropes, backdrop.
Which is like the scariest thing in the world.
Oh yeah. Well, the first time I ever took a backdrop.
This is a story from last week too, so I like this.
Okay.
We got something going.
Backdrops are still probably my absolute most hated thing to take. I hate backdrops. But my trainer, Brett, was in the ring. Again, it's like 110 degrees probably, if not more. And he was just wearing his little tighty wrestling. For some reason, even though we were not in front of a crowd,
he was still wearing the trunks.
He would always wear his trunks when we were training, okay? So he was soaking with sweat, okay? And he throws me in for my first backdrop, ducks down, I plant like I'm supposed to, but he didn't flip my legs over. He kind of hesitated, and I slid down his back and went headfirst into the mat.
Jesus, it's because he wasn't wearing a shirt. That's what it was.
And I was completely out cold. I don't remember what happened. The next thing I remember, I wake up, and him and a bunch of guys around me, they're going, how many fingers, you know? And actually, that was my first time going to the hospital for wrestling injury.
My God.
And I'd only been there about a week at that point, but I had what was called a stinger in your neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I ended up with a neck brace on. Of course, my parents are just like
freaking
out. They're like, we told you it was going to be like this. Why are you doing this? Why are you beating yourself up?
Let's take this point. We got to take a quick commercial break. We'll leave it with Stinger and your parents yelling at you. And we'll be right back with more Card Subject to Change after these commercials.
Ever need a doctor after hours? Well, searching won't help. But what do? You could go to the urgent care or ER, but if only there was a better way. Introducing the MNO Plus Card. No waiting rooms, no copay, no consultation fee, giving you 24/7 access to a doctor by phone or online. It's easy to get started with affordable plans starting at $15 a month for a family of 5. For more information, visit mnoplus.com today.
Everyone's story is different, so why be limited to just one or two options? With Norcom's Norflex Home Loan, you're given the flexibility to tell your story. Pick your terms from 8 to 30 years, all while maintaining a low, fixed mortgage rate. You can pay off your loan more quickly or choose a term based on your budget and timeline. Whatever you do with the Norflex Home Loan, make it part of your financial plan. Norflex. Short-term, long-term, your terms. Apply online at norcommortgage.com.
Enjoy tranquil seclusion in an eco-lover's paradise. Paddling through the mangroves where the only sounds you'll hear are the sounds of nature. Because you deserve to relax on vacation, visit Pasco County, Florida.
And we're back again. Card subject to change.
So we got Sean Davis here. You just got knocked out. You got a stinger.
Knocked out. Yeah.
Your family's yelling at you. Why the hell did you want to be a professional wrestler?
Exactly.
I'm curious about your family's reaction to all this.
Oh my God, I've got a great story about. I've got all kinds of stories. The first time, well, I would say the first time my mom really saw me get my butt kicked in the ring. Okay. You know, people, there's a lot of cynics out there who think that, you know, this is all fun and games and stuff. But one of my first matches, I guess I had made the wrong person mad. So the promoter paid one of the larger and scarier wrestlers in the area to legitimately injure me in the match.
Okay. And how old were you at this point?
19, probably.
19 years old.
20. I'd already,
You're new in wrestling.
I'd already peeved off a lot of people very, very early in my career.
You move quick, man. You're getting places.
Yes. So this large guy, I'm not going to name him, Navy SEAL, Terrence Howard, got in there and just killed me. It's not literally, I'm still here, but he attempted to kill me. He might have actually taken it a little easy on me because I am still alive. But
if he wanted to kill you, he would have killed you.
He pretty much brutalized me. And my mom was in the crowd and realized that, hey, you know, something ain't right here. My kid's really getting his butt whipped. And actually grabbed a chair and tried hitting the ring. Now,
so your mom was going to do a run-in.
Yes. For those of you who don't know my mom, she is 5 feet tall, a tiny little lady. And yeah, she had a mission. But she had a mission. Her little boy was getting hurt, and she was going to take something into her own hands, and it was a chair. And she must have watched enough wrestling with me over the years that she knew chair shots were a real thing. So here she goes with the chair. The security had to jump in, grab her, carry my mom out. She's still got the chair in her hand.
So she's kicking.
Her feet are going like this, and they're dragging her out the front door. Meanwhile, I'm out cold on the mat, don't have any clue what's going on. I get back to the dressing room, and this stupid promoter who paid the guy that hurt me comes in and chastised me for my mom making a scene on the show.
I thought you were going to say he tried booking your mom after
that. Shut up.
Your mom could have been a star, man.
She was more charismatic than anybody else on the show, so I mean, you know.
But then again, who else would buy a ticket if your mom was on the show?
Exactly. Another case, yes.
Perfect.
Exactly. So yeah, more fun, more
Absolutely.
fun.
And I think we got some pictures of you that we can throw up on the screen whenever James has a wonderful chance.
All right.
We got some cool stuff.
All right.
Oh,
okay.
Look at this man.
Big
I've been on the other end of that one before. It is not fun.
I was probably at my heaviest there. You know, I'm about 320 now. I was probably 390 at the time. So I'm sure that hurt when I landed with it, you know.
Oh, my God. Absolutely. And there you are. The Pro Wrestling Noah star, Go Shiozaki.
Yeah, Go Shiozaki. Fantastic. He's still a huge star in Japan. I believe he just, I don't know if he re-signed with that. I know he was in the news, but he's been a big freelance star over there. And what a talent. Fantastic matches he had here with, like, I think Davey Richards, Eric Stevens, guys like that, Roderick Strong.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there were some great matches. I was so happy to be a part of that.
And here's you in Japan?
That's in Japan. That was our first night in Japan. It was our debut in Tokyo, in the Roppongi district, if I'm saying that right.
What a nice district.
Yes. But yeah, the place was actually packed out. You can't really tell from the picture, but the place was packed out. It was the tournament, the big tag tournament they do every year, and it was our first match. We got the win. And the most exciting thing that happened to me on that tour was I grew up, like I said, getting all the magazines and videos from Japan. I actually got in Weekly World Wrestling, which is the big weekly full-color magazine, which they showed me getting the pin on that match. Which
that
was
is
really
awesome.
Cool.
So that's gotta be, you gotta have that like framed somewhere in your house or something.
It's such a prize.
So did you collect your own VHS tapes from Japan? Like,
they were supposed to send me footage. I've never actually seen footage from our Japan tour.
That's sad.
It's got to be out there somewhere because they actually had a camera following us around the whole time, doing like a behind the scenes.
Like a mini doc kind of thing?
Yeah, so I mean, there's definitely footage out there somewhere. Mr. Nakamura, if you're watching, I'll send you my address again. Maybe it got lost in the mail.
I'm sure Mr. Nakamura's watching. Why wouldn't he be?
Why wouldn't he, you know?
He's a regular.
He's a great guy, you know what I mean?
He always tunes in.
Absolutely. So you travel pretty much the world. You travel
somehow. I'll tell you right now. Anybody out there watching, you think that for some reason you can't accomplish your dreams in life. For this little fat, short, unathletic kid from a small town in Rhode Island can grow up to tour the entire world. It means you can do anything too. That's the inspiration for the day.
You're just not allowed to go back to the Dominican
Republic.
Oh no, I can go back to the Dominican Republic. So Republic of Panama.
Republic of Panama. That's where you can't go back.
Oh, that's right.
Permanently banned from the Republic of Panama.
You were getting death threats? Is that correct?
There was,
I mean, before desecrating flags was a popular thing.
I guess we need to tell the story quick, right?
We got 3 minutes. How fast can you do it?
We have part 2 to this. Well, we went on television. It was we were on tour there. It was like the Central America version of the Tonight Show, the most popular show on television there. We went on with very little sleep, and somebody suggested it'd be a great idea to take the Panamanian flag and throw it on the ground and kick it, which we did. It was not a smart move. We got arrested right away afterwards. Put on house arrest, luckily at the hotel. We didn't actually have to go to the actual jails there.
Oh my God.
But they put us in the hotel. The president of Panama went on television, did a press conference condemning us. We were the front page in the newspaper. They had the people flooded the radios, the television stations, demanding that we be flogged in the streets.
So do you think it was one of the local guys who was pulling a rib on you? He's like, yeah, it'd be great if you took the flag.
It was a local guy, but yeah, he was just an idiot, I guess. Yeah,
you listened to the wrong guy.
We listened to the wrong guy, and they banned us from wrestling. But the promoter, because with all this attention, knew the people would riot if we didn't show up and do the show, actually snuck us out of the hotel, which again, we were supposed to be on house arrest, brought us to the building. They put our match on about second on the show, snuck us back out of the building, and hightailed us to the airport before we could be arrested by the military.
Oh my God.
Got us out of the country.
So the promoter saw you as a draw after this. You know what? National attention.
Yes, we had a sellout show. I mean,
I'm surprised. Oh my God.
But we also killed that promotion because he was never allowed to promote another wrestling show again. Sorry about that.
Well, I mean, he made the decision to sneak you out and get you in and do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, you've done pretty much everything you wanted to do, including making international headlines.
We had a lot of fun. Yes.
Awesome. Well, Sean, we really appreciate you joining us this week in Card Subject. We didn't even get a chance to scratch the surface on all the stories we could have told, so we're going to have you back one week again if you're up for it.
I don't get invited anywhere anymore. Come on, invite me back, please.
This is some awesome stories.
Yes.
We really appreciate you taking the time to come on and talk to our fans. So, is there anything you'd like to promote or advertise, or?
Nope. Eat healthy, eat lots of chicken.
Perfect. So, Pollo Tropical has the.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
So everybody, be sure to follow us on social media. We're with the hashtag CSTChange. The graphics going to pop up any second. The graphics going to pop up. I'm just waiting for it. It's going to happen.
Oh, you
He's
know?
backstage having a conversation right now. I can hear him in my earpiece, and I don't see anything popping up. Oh, he deleted the file. All right. So follow us on social media. Facebook, YouTube,
Twitter?
Instagram, and Twitter at CSTChange, or use the hashtag CSTChange to join the conversation. So be sure to join us on there. And Sean Davis, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you, guys.
It was a very entertaining time. Thank you so much for watching Card Subject to Change, and we will see you guys next week.